Stopak. This is about Stopak again, the green material that you've just seen also in the experience center, for example. Our main business still is, despite the great expansion in market segments of roofing and other, recoating of existing pipelines, existing structures where we do the complete recoating of damaged line pipe coating. Which market is it? Mostly oil and gas, and that's the midstream, so cross-country transmission pipelines. These are the damages they face. It's being applied on different types: polyethylene, polypropylene, bitumen, especially bitumen. It's a big size rehab coating market because all the pipelines installed between the 60s or even in the 50s, they were designed for only 20-25 years. So that's the complete design of the pipe, including the coating. Meaning that, okay, extended maybe 10-15 years, but a lot of rehab, recoating is being done at the moment and will come up in the next few years. For Stopak, we're the #1 rehab coating actually. Why? I will show you later. Our surface preparation is such a big advantage compared to the other ones. For example, in bitumen, it sticks to any substrate, meaning any existing line pipe coating there was. At this moment, bitumen, the only thing you need to do is surface preparation until ST2, do a point check and adhesion check, and then you apply it on a clean surface. There's no need to remove completely the existing line. You can remove a small section, circumferential section, you apply the Stopak there, and let's say 5-6 meters down the road, you do it again, so you have that straight adherence to the steel pipe, and then you encapsulate that whole area. This is what it looks like when it's installed. So the green layer goes underneath, and the top layer is an outer normal tape. What is the added value that we as Stopak bring to the market compared to the others? There's no special tools needed, no salt bacteria contamination, no preheating, very high surface tolerance. It's compatible, like I said, to all the existing line coatings. Reduce cycle times, and as a whole, it's a total cost of ownership perspective. As explained, many transmission pipelines are old. They need to continue the life. They cannot just replace the pipeline, especially nowadays. Villages were built around it, so you cannot take it out. That's why the recoating is a very big opportunity here. The opportunity is turnkey pipeline coating rehabilitation. Now we only supply the material. We have ways now to come up with new inventions on doing the complete line, from stripping the coating to applying it, and then backfilling. And this is what we need: happy contractors that like to work with the material.
Well, I will bring you to another pipeline world. The territory I'm looking after is mainly composed of district heating customers. District heating is actually the denomination for remote supply to buildings of heating and hot water. So we do have a processing plant which locally produces the heat and then transport it through a forward pipe network system to private households, public buildings, and private premises. The red line is then the forward pipeline system, and recovers the return blue line, the return pipeline network system for the water for retreatment. So as said, the producer of the collection point transports the heat through a pipeline system to the consumers. And that's where we make our contribution on that level. The pipeline configuration is somewhat different. It is that of a pre-insulated bonded pipeline system. So the assembly consists of a medium pipe, mostly made out of steel, not always, not necessarily. plus the two components polyurethane thermal insulation, plus a alpha polyethylene casing jacket. So based on the covalent adhesive and heat shrink technology, so our contribution is that of rendering watertight the valuable infrastructural asset, and this at only a few but very critical points of the system. We do so with a number of product solutions. However, the main application is the protection of joint areas, either the total joint and even more specific to the joint casing ends. So that's the salient application where we interfere. That's the joint depending on the pipe section. Lengths you have every 6, 9, 12, 16, 18 meters. You do have a pipe connection, a joint area, where rebuild of the same structure as the normal piping is required. Actually, the link between the two pipes is done with the so-called casing. That casing needs at its outer ends to be made waterproof, to prevent the thermal insulation of the entire system, to prevent this from water ingress. So this is done with the heat shrink technology, as said. I'm not diving into it any longer because you have heard about before how this works basically. The only difference here, it's not corrosion protection, here it serves to seal. So that is done with either tubular, like tubular or wraparound sleeve systems, and these sleeve systems stand for about 60% of our SFL turnover within that district heating sector. And my rough guess is that sleeve business represents about 75% of the market. Now, our salient working horse within that sealing sleeve business, and I would say the number one choice within the marketplace in general, is is our wraparound sleeve type called Dual Seal RGSE. The Dual Seal RGSE generates about $3.5 million year in, year out. It is made in our Tijuana production facility for its sales areas in Europe and Korea. The dual adhesive concept and the product composition as such is practically unaltered ever since its market commercialization in '85. But I think I'm not really sure, I think it was '85 when we patented the product system. And still today, it is a high seller. So millionfold of dual seal sleeves have protected this heating pipeline over their entire lifetime, which is minimum 30 years and beyond. So that's what it looks like after the finishing, and here is the dual seal product sealing up the joint casing areas. What does make the dual adhesive system special? Actually, I have one example here. I'll pass it around afterwards, but you will see in the pictures as well. You have to know that the product is actually of a two-layer construction. So first of all, there is an external side, what we call backing, and the backing blending is dominated by high-density polyethylene. I'm not going to dive into the different features it needs, but high density brings about a number of beneficial effects we make use of, we can benefit from for the purposes we follow. Maybe just to mention a few characteristics, that's like the high shrink force of cross-linked high-density polyethylene. Know that the cross-linking is increasing certain properties of the high density. So we have something much slower. So, and the other thing is the high mechanical strength of high-density polyethylene. So we have integrated, and a little surprise that nobody has been talking about so far, to make it rather unique as well, the permanent change indicator. I'm not sure if you can recognize it. So there's a dimple pattern. With current shrinking, that dimple pattern will loosen out. And that way it indicates it is visual support for correct heat supply and over its entire width of the sleeve. The printing doesn't sound special, but printing is even something which we have built in the way to help the installation guys. And the printing, as you can maybe see, it's not in the middle of the sleeve width, but it is in the middle of the below mastic width. And this is a simple installation help to the installer to position correctly the sleeve exactly there where it needs to be positioned. And another small something is this icon aid to put it the right way around. So you can even be illiterate to install it correctly, no problem. And there is an anti-slip zone which you cannot see from the external side, but it's integrated in the backing, which is actually again an aid, an installation aid for quick, non-intermittent, skid-proof installation in one go. Then we come to the internal side, so the inside, the adhesive side, and that's where I would say the heart is bumping. On the outside, so the both edges of the sleeve inner side, you have specially formulated hot melt to secure high strength against pipe and soil movement. In the large middle part, you have a pure viscoelastic butyl, which is of a perfect long-term stability with a great wetting capability and with a good flow and fill behavior, which all is important because that is exactly in the transition zone of the casing ends towards the pipe, so there where the sealing is needed. So that renders, that kind of method renders really impermeable the whole system. And even the more, it is exactly in that transition area as well where you have relative movements, like thermal, expansion, contraction movements, etc., which need to be absorbed by a high degree of flexibility of the material. Here you have the anti-slip zone where I talked about before. Bringing it all together, so pioneering of covalence radium, I have actually to say, because it started with radium 15 years ago, this minor, plus these 5 decades of accumulated know-how, plus the close industry and application monitoring allows us to consider ourselves as real experts. Experts in the backing, blending, experts in the good mastery of physical quality, and expert in the formulation of advanced, mature, differentiated adhesives. Then optimally selecting and combining materials, not compromising on quality, striving for universal applicability, and uniting the highest possible quality with field installation friendliness to the greatest extent possible. That's, I think, all of these domains together amount to the uniqueness, to that value addition of our dual seal sleeve concept. Unfortunately, the long-time leading position we have had is in danger, maybe more than ever before. Why is that? So the sleeve seal joint system is still dominating the different casing systems you have in that particular sector. However, there are other joint systems around for a while in the meantime, and which are not in need of any sleeve scaling. So, and since the market is rather stagnating, So the gain of one system automatically goes at the expense of another system. Secondly, the district heating marketplace is a commodity marketplace. You just have to admit that. And the last years even, it was intensively hard fought. So it makes that the price differentials towards competition are to be kept minimal. So highly price sensitive, head sensitive. The EN 489 norm regulates the joint assembly minimum requirements, this including the shrink screws. And that norm is about to be a new version is about to be adopted soon. However, because of lack of time, the loopholes of today's norm risk not to get cleared away as expected in the new norm to come. So it makes that lower end joint systems can get certified, which we are unable to compete economically. Last but not least, even if the new norm becomes more stringent, our main competitor has succeeded in re-engineering his sleeve type in that way that it is in full compliance with the test criteria as per its own intrinsic valence, same as we do with our dual seal adhesive sleeve. So it makes that we have to keep emphasizing our dual adhesive concept. By the way, I forgot to mention that competition works with a mono adhesive, so it's just one adhesive over the entire width, so that they have to compromise on the two actually oppositional features you're looking for: highest possible sealing on the one hand and highest shear strength on the other hand. So nevertheless, we have to keep on emphasizing that dual adhesive concept, which is 30 plus years old. And next to that, we will have to invent a new competitive edge, which puts us safe for the next X number of years of terms. Thank you.
It's only 10 minutes, I'm not hurry big and long.
Okay, I'll be quick. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about shrink screws. I'll talk about something other. I'll talk about PowerCrete liquid epoxy or ceramic epoxy. PowerCrete is a workhorse for us. I manage sales in the United States and Canada, and for us it's a workhorse, and it's kind of safeguarded the last year, and it's hopefully going to do well this year as well. It's a two-component, 100% solids liquid epoxy with some ceramic, unique ceramic fillers. It is manufactured in Franklin, Kentucky, and in Baroda, India. So we have two manufacturing locations, and we have R&D support out of Baroda, India, a guy named Nero. The first trademark was in 1990. I just did a little bit of research on it because I'm relatively new with the company as well. But trademarked in 1990 by Power Lone Star in Texas. And then the company was acquired by Tyco at the time in 2001. And then they basically updated the trademark in 2001. It's an ARO, and an ARO means abrasion-resistant overcoat. So basically, it's a liquid epoxy that goes over another coating to give it abrasion resistance for directional drilling applications. So when a pipe is constructed and they can't dig a trench and bury the pipeline, they'll drill a borehole, and they'll pull the pipe through that borehole, and the PowerCrete with its ceramic fillers acts as a coating that will resist the damage of pulling the pipe through a hole. It also acts as corrosion prevention. So there's two market segments, and there's some overlap between the two market segments. One, abrasion-resistant overcoat, and two, field-applied corrosion prevention for pipelines. In the United States, we have sales of $8 to $10 million. In the market, the $50 million was a bit of a wild guess for me. I don't know the exact market if you include the different competitors, competing technologies as well, but it's probably in that range between the both segments. We do compete with alternate technologies and commodity products, and we do not commoditize this product. We could sell it at a lower price and perhaps get higher volume, but then that would be margin erosion, and it would also be erosion of the brand as well, so we don't want to do that. We do have a unique position as a premium product in the marketplace. I said strong margins in a market polluted by several commodity manufacturers. So what we try to do is avoid competing with those guys and have that sort of premium product in the marketplace. High performance coating, high build thickness, which means you'll build it, say, kind of doing say 40 mils or 120 microns, that kind of thing. Multiple grades. I just went through an exercise of updating our pricing sheets, looking at our margins of the different products, and we do have an extremely high number of products within the product line, and then within those we have multiple different types of packaging. So we're looking at margins and prices, selling prices in the last week or so to come up with new pricing for sort of new pricing strategies for our current customers. It's a hand application product, basically kits and buckets. It's sold through distribution. A number of our distributors buy the material in bulk and do the kitting themselves, which is a problem for us because they're taking margin that we could be taking in kitting operations. So if we were better at doing the kitting ourselves and sold the kits, we'd be making more money out of that. And then which reminds me that on that on a regular basis. So there is that opportunity. There's also spray applied product, which is purchased by applicators. So we have two types of customer groups, distributors and applicators. We'll always have those two types of groups. It's just a matter of where we take our margin and profit. So that's spray applied over fusion bond and epoxy coated pipelines, and that's as an ERL application. The performance perception shows it only when the best will do. There are competing technologies, but it's viewed as the premium product in that market segment as an ARO. Unmatched toughness versus alternate technologies in both the ARO market and the corrosion protection market. End user specs drive sales due to the higher price point. We're 30 to 40% higher than our competition. And it's not always easy to sell something when you're that much more expensive. And even some of our applicators will be applying competing technologies along with our technology. So how do they change our technology versus a competing one? It's got to be spec driven. Or it's got to be driven by them possibly making more money. So a distributor and applicator can make more money selling our product than they can sell selling the competing product, so that gives them incentive as well. Market opportunity and challenges. 2016 was strong. It had a very good, strong first part of the year. The second quarter of 2016 were quite good, and it tailed back in the second half of the year. This year we're kind of on the reverse trend, I hope. We're having a bit of a slow start to the year, but I think we're going to have a bit stronger second half. Although we're still getting strong week-to-week sales. We have one customer taking the truck a week. We have another one that we expect to have on a regular basis. We're typically carrying 100 drums of material on the floor in Franklin on a regular basis because our customers call up and they want the truck to ship out the next day. We're working on opportunities to refresh the line. I've had some discussions before about that. Do we want to go after some of that commodity business? Not with our current product range. If we want to rebrand something else, maybe the same product, rebrand it something else, possibly go after some of that business. I think we have the economics to be able to do that, but do we want to use the question? Establish new applicators. We have 3 or 4 applicators now. I have another applicator I'm working with now. He wants to apply our products, and he's investing over $200,000 in CapEx to be able to apply our product. So that gives him incentive to want to use his product. Clawback kitting from the distributors, get that margin dollars back into our pockets. And that's an opportunity and a challenge because the kitting distributors make money, so they're driven to buy product, kit it up, and sell it. So if you take that away from them, then it lessens their incentive. So you have to think about it in two fronts. And there is strong customer loyalty, and I say in spite of our service levels, and there are needs for improvement in our service levels. The Franklin plant, it's a love-hate relationship with them sometimes. They do have some rules in place as far as shipping materials that can be a bit of a concern, and sometimes there are outages of raw materials that cause delays and things like that. So there have been some service issues out of the plant, and we're working to address those. And that's it. 5 minutes.
I'm stepping in for Nero Meta. We've got a lot of take his visa on time. So I'm going to talk about quality 942, 955. It's a 3-ply inner tape and a 2-ply outer tape. The product exists for more than 25 years and it is originally made in Franklin, Kentucky. More recently, since this year, also in Tijuana, Mexico. And we are setting up or working hard on setting up a production in Maroc, India, etc. So the inner tape is a 3-ply tape. What we call a 3-ply tape is of course 3 layers. There is a middle layer in the polyethylene, that's a carrier. That is to put tension on the product and also to carry the adhesive. And then it's sandwiched between 2 layers of butyl. That's what you see at the bottom there. The 2 yellow ones is a butyl layer. And then there's an outer tape, a mechanical protection, which is a 2-layer construction. A very similar polyethylene carrier for mechanical protection and the same butyl rubber adhesive. How is it applied? The first layer is a butyl primer layer. It's the same adhesive again, but dissolved in a solvent. And then with a brush or you spray a very thin layer, typically 60 to 80 microns. And you can consider that as a primer to improve the adhesion. Then you apply the inner tape, so you with such a type of device, so you wrap it around the pipe, and the release line is winded up automatically here, and it is applied in 50% overlap construction. So in fact, you get 2 layers on top of each other. Then we do the same thing with the outer tape, the mechanical part, again in a 50% overlap. So you get already in total 4 layers plus the primer layer. Then you come to a total system thickness of approximately 2.5 millimeters, which is in most specifications. Upon request, we can make variants of the products, of course, in other thicknesses, but we want to stick with this system. Other possibilities that we see in the market is that when the customer wants improved mechanical thicknesses, that they go to a wider outer tape and then applying it with a 66% overlap. So then you get 3 layers of an outer tape to get improved mechanical protection. What is happening with the different layers of butyl is when you apply that, and then it's a function, of course, of pressure, temperature, and time. The different layers fuse, in fact, together, and they become as a hose-type system, and it is impossible to unwrap the tape after a certain time. And again, that depends on pressure, temperature, and time. How are you putting pressure on it? By adjusting this knob here at the side. You put some friction on this plate, and then you stretch the tape. The correct tension that you put on the tape is that when you have a necking in of between 1 and 2% of the total width of the tape, for the inner as well as the outer. So that's a relatively easy test that you can do, and when you start with a 50 millimeter, you should have a reduction of approximately 1 to 2 millimeters in width. The product can be used at -40 up to pipelines up to 60 degrees C, and we comply with the 3 main standards, and that's a C50. The C is giving you an indication of the mechanical strength of the product. How is that measured? That is a test with a needle. That's what they call an indentation, is it? And the other test is an impact. It's a drop weight. And then they test if there are no holidays in the product. The 50 is that it is tested at 50 degrees C. And so you have different standards, C30, C50, C60. So again, the product can be used up to 60, and it is passing the C50 standard. So at 60 degrees C, you can still use it, and it's still fully functional, but we will not pass the mechanical tests anymore, as you would see at 50 degrees C. very nice in fact, it is one product for 3 applications. Start with the first one, that is the main market, the biggest market. That's the rehabilitation of aged pipelines. So a typical pipeline is built, or originally was built, for a lifetime of approximately 30 years. What we see is in most parts of the world, especially in Western Europe, that pipelines that were built for 30 years are now 40, 50, 60 years old and still in excellent condition. That's a pity for us today, otherwise we could sell them.
Just to interrupt and ask a question, because I think somebody earlier mentioned a pipeline within 30 years, but I'm talking about a different product.
Yes, and a different market, that was for insulated lines. I think that you're referring to that. But in other parts of the world, mainly in India, and that's where we see a huge growth opportunity. We see aged pipelines of 20, 30 years old that needs a recoating. So there's also a big market in North America for rehabilitation, unfortunately not for this type of coatings, because we're using other coatings, but there it's clearly a niche. The second application is field joint coating, so where you have new pipelines, pre-coated already in a factory, and just the welded area must be coated, but is also used the same product. And then we have coating of new pipes. That's what we do with this product, for instance, in Pakistan. Small diameter, typically 2 to 3 inch. Unfortunately, I did not find the video anymore of it, but it's a very nice system. They just take a pipe, a length of 6 to 8 meters on rolling rigs. And you have to imagine that when you drive a small diameter pipe at the 2 ends of just 2 inch, that pipe is just dancing on the rolls. And then there's a guy just taking the roll and stepping at the right speed next to that pipe to have that over that of 50%, and then again with the outer tape. He's doing that without gloves, so imagine how his fingers will look like at the end of the tape. It's a relatively small market, but for new pipes, but it's certainly used. What is the main advantage of it? Again, one tape system that you can do for different type of diameters of pipe, little to no investment to do the coating, and that's the reason why that is used in those markets. And here are a couple of pictures of a rehabilitation that is in India. In this case, it's a 24-inch diameter pipe. They first strip the coating, they open the lid, then they sandblast the pipe. So in that picture you can see how the pipe looks like then. Then they're doing the primary with the brush. It's like a paint, and the solvent evaporates. And when you touch it, and there is no residue or anything else on your finger, then you know that it is ready to go. And then with the machine, it's a bigger type of this one. They start drying it in a 50% overlap. The same with the outer tape on the right side. When they finish the job, then they're going to do an inspection. What you see on your left-hand side is that is an adhesion test. So they're making a cut again in the tape, and you're peeling it off the tape, and you're measuring the force that you need at a certain speed to, in fact, to delaminate the tape, and that gives you an indication that everything was okay. That's a destructive test, so that spot must be repaired again, of course, after the test. And on the right-hand side, that is a holiday detection test. That is just a spring, and with a high tension, they roll over the pipe, and when there is a defect somewhere in the coating, you get a spark, and then that cooling is giving you a beep. It's typically done, it's 5 kilovolt per millimeter thickness plus 5 kilovolt. So you start always with 5, and then 2.5 you end up down there. It's around 15 kilovolt that you are doing the test. And of course, when it is defect, then a spot repair is made also with the tape, or they make an entire replica. So Then I have also an example of field joint coating. This is from a job in France, large diameter and on some automatic taping machine. To the middle. So with this type of machine, you wrap inner and outer tape at the same time. So this is the start of it goes relatively slow. So you see the inner tape with a blue liner. Yeah. And on this type of machines, there is a constant tension break under. So on this one, when you reduce the diameter, you have to adjust the tension. On this type of machine, that goes automatically. So it's testing that. So when that machine is done traveling over the power. This is an electric version, but we also have this machine with a gasoline engine as well. That's it.
Any questions for the?
The outer tape of the 22, step 1, will it only be available in black? Or can you have it?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think in theory you can make it in yellow, but both standard products are black and white. Black has a little bit better UV resistance. The white is for some customers who prefer to have a different color between inner and outer. I also want to quickly mention why are we doing the investment in India. First of all, it is a very big market. The market for the next 10 years in rehabilitation is $18 million, 80, so that's a tremendous market. For us only, what we expect for the coming 18 to 24 months is $18 million only for this product in rehabilitation. By making it locally, of course, we can save on transportation and we can source our raw materials cheaper. But the other reason is that India is a very closed market with 30.5% duties and taxes when you import the material from abroad. By making it locally, we can save there a lot of money, making it a lot more competitive. All the other competitors are coming from abroad. And the third reason is, of course, this is a relatively old product with a lot of pressure on pricing and it's commoditized. And this is a tender business. And a typical tender business, every tender that's coming out, the price is not going high, it's going lower. And by having a local source, the next step is that we will try to change the model. And instead of selling it to the end user, we're standing and buying a large lots. That we will try to sell to the applicators, relatively small companies. And then of course we can take advantage of the service that we can give to these companies. And of course, when we can do that, and when we are the only one in the market who can do that there, or with not as many as we are now, it's less pressure on pricing, and hopefully that we then also can improve our margins on that. So that's the strategy around this problem.
One question related to this automatic application system. Why is it not possible to use a roll size of a roll width of maybe half a meter if you're working on a pipeline with a diameter of 2 meters?
It's mainly the tension. So this is a 4-inch wide tape, 100 millimeters. Yeah. And this is already a stretch because you can see you have the spindles. But to stretch this product, that you have a necking in of 1 or 2%. You need a lot of force. And why do you make your roll? That will put a lot of pressure, of course, on the spindles. Now this is traveling very slow. This was just on startup. I would say you can do a joint of this type of diameter with this machine in 2 to 3 minutes. In and out like that.
Okay, let's wrap up there. Have a quick break. A round of applause.
Thank you again. My name is Geer. For some of you, difficult to pronounce. Gerald doesn't matter. And Dick is the assistant here. What happened when I got married, my predicted mother-in-law asked me, so, you want to marry my daughter and what are you doing for living? I said, well, I'm marketing and advertising. And she said, oh, I don't ever pay attention on marketing or advertising. So I only buy a well-known brand. And that was the start of my career. My destination now, many years later, we have a small team, dedicated team. We work for several multinationals, and we work very close together with Fritz. Fritz told you this morning how he is working and what is his view about marketing and everything. First, I will introduce my team. I'm the oldest of a very young, dedicated, highly dedicated team. Dinko, the floor is yours for 1 second. Okay. So this is the name of our company. As you saw, we are located in a football stadium, soccer stadium. So we have the big green garden, and we are situated in Groningen, the capital here in the
Don't
north.
call it a football stadium, sorry. I come from Amsterdam, that's
Oh.
not a football stadium.
Bingo! Yes, we have a small team, eight people, strategic and design people who work for SFL for many years already. Bingo. The theme of today is inspiration, and while we believe in, even in the field of industrial marketing, we believe in H2H approach. Some people ask me, oh, well, you are a professional in business to business. No, we are we are believing in human to human marketing, to reach people direct in the heart. And okay, the rational arguments are important, but the emotional arguments, building brands and to bring passion into the market, we believe in that. Here you see some examples of our inspiration, and Fritz told you this morning that where did your inspiration come from the world around you, and what's happening. And you see there a picture in the harbor. It was I think somewhere in Greece, and it was a very smart act of creativity. Here you see another example of good creative. It's an advertising for the Copenhagen Zoo. And yeah, it's very inspiring, this kind of. Well, this is what's small, but this is from BMW, and very impactful ad. And you saw another advertising this morning. actually, the recent, what recent happened in the world is a theme for advertising companies too. But now we have also made some famous Silver Life sofa ads, and some of them you know already, and we will show them two of them. To the left you see a motorist, and that's the reason why is sponsoring the world champion motor cycling in Assen. It's a famous technique. And so we combined the adhesive qualities and the sticking qualities of Stova with the sticking qualities of a good motor driver. And the anti-aging effort was pretty start for several years ago. And still working. Stova is anti-aging. And people ask us, yeah, but you are making an advertisement in paper for engineers and for designers, technical people. And you have an image of a woman. Yeah, and he said, yes, we are sure this had a lot of impact just in that field from man and technical specs. And this was a lot of impact. Here also you see some we call it famous ads from Silver Life Stova. You see Fritz told you about the logo there, and there we combine all the different companies, Silver Life companies in one image, the lifeguards. We are the tough guys, we are 24/7 at your service. And the man in the diving jacket where he is somewhere. Sander was our role model.
Long time ago.
And now this first year, when you have made the walk through the factory, you saw that at the school, the environment in the pole areas are very important. And so we say answer for some. Yes, they go. And we have also famous case histories. You know, storytelling is the big theme in marketing nowadays. And this is the oldest rescue vessel from the Netherlands. It's a very famous vessel. It is, sorry. And corrosion is a big problem for this this heritage affair. And she asked us, and we are very honored that we, Stova, can help them, the committee who is taking care of this vessel, to avoid corrosion. This is a very good story, because this vessel has saved many lives in the storms around the Netherlands. We have our own paper, you see it there. We are proud that we have our own Silver Life paper. There it is. And you see the Ocean Life. We take care of Ocean Life. Stova cares about Ocean Life. And we have our own Bible. You will get it tomorrow, I can say, Chris. And it's the Master Engineering book. Almost every day we improve the Master Engineering book with all the specs and all the technical details and all the advances from the product Silver Life. And we have almost a secret online service. And the evening, when we have a class, we can tell you something more about that. Also online, this whole aspect, Frits. And we have several soldiers over the world who are active online and make posts who are relevant for our business. There you go. And this is the most recent go-to campaign. And to communicate the pit quality of solar. And yeah, this is very important. There is a world famous guru, a marketing guru, who is called McLuhan. He's a Canadian man, and he is professor at several universities in America. He's written a lot of books, professional books about marketing and advertising. And he's very, very successful. And once a time where there came a student to him and said, Mr. McLuhan, you are so famous and you are you know a lot about our business and about marketing, and you help Chrysler, and you help Coca-Cola, and you American Express. But what is in one sentence the secret? And he said, actually it's very simple. No sales without enthusiasm, without passion. And at the end for my little speech here, I would share marketing is everything, marketing is passion, marketing is 24/7 looking around what's happening in the world. At the end I will
From St. Mary's, Alaska. He's a UPS worker on the Yukon River. He's my Elook. The name of our little fishery is Elook Fisheries. We started our direct marketing last year, and we're hoping to be able to sell Yukon Kings fresh, high quality to Pike's Place Market. We get best food salmon in the world. How much a pound? $9. $9? How you doing? As they say. Anytime. Alright. Let's see what else. Time to go home!
Not quite. Almost. 2 more minutes.
2 more minutes?
We gotta keep going. We gotta keep going.
Smoked salmon. Yum. Yummy. Yes.
That's it for Play Fish. See you tomorrow.
Well, I wish you a good congress tonight and tomorrow, and remember, no sales without enthusiasm. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Joost, but the juice is... This is my friend. He's always next to me wherever I go, so I forgot him. That's why I went back to pick him up. You want to see him? Yeah. Really want to see him? Yeah.
Yes.
I'll show him.
It's a lady.
See him? Yes, this is Jim. Jim is over here. Alright, I live nearby. My name is Joost Steenwijk, Jaulin, and I have a house and a second building on where I live, and that has a roof like this with plants, and there was a small leak 6 years ago, and I actually put this on, and it's still there. So it's very strong material. This is true. So this material. It's very, maybe it's chemical. I think so, but it's very strong. And that brings me to the subject about strength. I've got only, Fritz asked me yesterday to come here. Oh, that's quite in time, so why not? And he said it has to be 5 minutes pitch. So I tried it this morning, it's 3.5, so it won't be too long. So strength. For instance, a strong company. What is a strong company? A strong company has outstanding statistics, like growth in customer base, growth in market share, profit, EBITDA. But that's only the symptoms, that's only the outside. What is behind, what causes the strength? Anyway, in the Netherlands, when we want to look for the cause, the root, we say, what's the wortel van het probleem? So that's the carrot. What's the carrot of the problem? Still with me, eh? You're still with me. All right. So you have this outperforming company which has outperforming statistics, but what is causing this outperforming statistics? So peel that off. And is it the beautiful ICT system, or very good working back office systems, beautiful marketing, short time to market? I think so. Maybe all of them. But these are also symptoms. So what's the root of these symptoms? I think it's the people. Because everything I just named is created by people, luckily. Maybe robots in the future, but by people. So, strong company has strong people. Yes or no? Yeah, yes? Okay, strong people, strong company. Well, we have a company with strong people, but the people get, now and then, they get maybe sick. Symptoms of sickness are neck pain, shoulder pain, back pain, allergies,
They stay at home, they have migraine, or they have worse illnesses, which have more impact. And how do we treat the people when they're sick? First of all, we're always too late. We're always too late. We don't do it before we start to heal in this part of the world when a harm is done. So the person comes back after a few days or a few weeks, so we start to reintegrate it. It takes a lot of time, which time and money is not put into the market. And hopefully he gets better and has the same performance as before. And we go back to our office and we talk about this guy or woman and we hope and pray that he will not get sick and stay healthy. Can this be done smarter? Is my question. Because we need a strong company and this part of the process doesn't strengthen the company. So how can we do it different? And what is truth? Because these days, especially in Holland, a lot of people are telling what is truth and what choices we should make. And you got a lot of scientific people and you say, there is a solution, and this is the solution. So I think nature is probably your stuff is very strong from Stoka, but I think nature is a little bit stronger. I think it's the strongest system. So how about using that system? What makes it so strong? I mean, it's not linear, it's not a lot of material. It's always like this. It's a perfect balance of day and night, heat and cold, summer and winter. It's always in balance and it's expanding and it's growing. What is a law in this system? I think it's the balance. So if you're balanced, if you can balance your people and yourself, you're strong. And not only strong that your immune system is strong, but that you're happy and smile, which I should do more. And you smile and you are determined to go to the customer. You feel confident and you don't worry because you know you can do what you have to do. And you're passionate and customers like to come to you. So if we want those people in our company, we should work with the strongest system there is and try to improve the balance from the inside. Because when the person is sick in Western Europe, like I told before, you will reintegrate. But we treat them with paracetamol, chemicals, drugs, maybe some food, maybe some rest. But it's treatment from the outside. The guy should, or the woman should be treated from the inside. The balance should be restored. The immune system should get stronger. And that makes passionate people, if that's done. So, that is my advice to you. This guy, Jim, is a model for acupuncture. And acupuncture is a healing system which you can use when it's too late to cure it or to prevent it, to keep people in balance. And when people are in balance, I mean, I'm not in balance now. Now I'm in balance. Now I'm much stronger, and I will have less chance of being sick, and I will have more time and energy to serve my customers and to make my company strong. So maybe it's now 4 minutes. It's an idea to think if you can use acupuncture, a health system, to get your goals easier and faster. Thank you.